Hey guys, Redbeard here.
And E-House.
For this week, we are going to give you some pointers on how to clear rooms and conduct CQC.
Yes.
So the first thing to consider in CQC, what's going on right now, we're going to clear this room, myself and E-House. So this is a two-person stack. So how this normally would work, we'd have a team of guys with one person covering rear security. But we're tending to hit this really hard and really quick. There's another element that's actually providing security anyway. We're the clearing element into this room. So when you line up on the stack, the point man wants to make sure his gun is covering the immediate threat, which is going to be that door or that doorway. We don't know what's on the other side of this door. So my gun is going to be up. I'm not flagging myself to anybody inside that room, meaning that my barrel is behind this. Everything, I'm aware of it, is all behind this pillar here. But my gun is out and covering that doorway just in case someone decides to walk out of it. I can go bang bang. All right?
And my gun, as the second man to stack, my main concern is not flagging anyone else in the stack. So a lot of guys will do this kind of high ready thing. A lot of guys will do the low ready. Depends on personal preference. Generally, I find I have an easy time snapping the gun up from the low ready in close quarters. So I generally keep the gun at the low ready. You can also have the gun up if you're on like a total stack, and that way you have security all the way around. Really depends on the situation, but I'm going to have the gun at the low ready for the purpose of this demonstration.
And then the next step, which is actually executing the breach inside the room. So one of the things, and this is a technique that I've actually started to learn, is called moving move. So the first person in the stack will actually declare their intent to move. So in essence, if I were to actually simulate actually breaching into this room, I would say moving in, moving right, or moving right. And then the second person in the stack will say move. What that does...
Or you won't say move if you want to mess with them.
I just won't move until you say it. Someone will just stand here for hours.
Sounds like fun.
Shut up. So, the first person declares their intent to move. The second person, by saying move, acknowledges that I heard your intent to move. I'm good to go. This can also be done if you want to be quiet. The person can whisper, moving, and then the other person will just squeeze the shoulder saying, yep, I heard you. So that way, the person inside doesn't quite know exactly when they're actually going to breach in.
And the other thing too is if you're familiar with your team and how your standard SOP operates, we've done it before where we won't even declare which direction we're moving. Just the point man, whatever way the first guy moves in, second guy moves the opposite.
Yeah.
Really depends on your practice level with your team.
The point man always needs to hit the hard corner first, and that is the most immediate threat. So if you can kind of see in this doorway, I'm going to move in and move right, which is basically going straight into that doorway because that's the closest corner and the most immediate threat. Because that's covering straight into this doorway. There may be guys to the left. My job as the point man, I don't care about that. That's his job. So what happens is when you push in, the lead man will go one way, and the next person in the stack will go the other way, right? Because you're always trying to take away the corners first, work your outside in. Does that make sense? Yes. Okay. So we're going to practice getting ready to go in and move in. Moving.
Move.
Right clear.
Left clear.
Room all clear. Moving in, moving right.
Move.
So, after we breach into the room, as the point man, I'm guarding the hard right corner. Once I know the right corner is clear, I'll yell out, right clear. And once that happens, I'm going to start shifting my eyes towards the center of the room, working outside of the room, back inwards. Eric will do the same. So once he comes in, he'll check the left side corner. If there's no threats there, he'll indicate left side clear and begin to work back towards the center. Then once we both meet in the center and there's no threats, point man, doesn't really matter. Someone will say, room all clear.
And then you can all confirm that if you feel like. So he'll say all clear, and I'll just confirm all clear, no targets, something like that.
Yep. The most important thing when you're doing CQC and room clearing is anybody that pushes into the room, you need to cover a sector that's not being covered already. The goal of CQC is to clear that room as quickly and as smoothly as possible. Slow is smooth and smooth is fast. So make sure you're doing it thoroughly. When you go in, you do your jobs, clear the hard corners, work outside in. If you had a third person, the third person would come in and kind of take care of that center portion, and then provide rear security if you're doing a three-man team. If you have a 4-man team, you doesn't even need to turn around because there's a guy covering the door. What you need to do is when you push in, you're finding a sector that's not being covered, take care of the immediate threat first, and then move in. Start outside, work your way in. Start at the corners, work your way in.
And just go fast, have good violence of action, and commit to room clearing. We've seen way too many situations where guys will get hung up, the point man will get shot, and everyone else will stop at the door. The problem is your point man kind of has to accept that he very well may get shot. It's just reality, it's airsoft. If people are covering that door, point man is getting shot. It's the job of the next guys in the room to try to clear that. And again, it's airsoft. Even if you get shot, it's not real life. You get to walk back to respawn.
Yep.
So.
And they actually kind of piggyback off what Eric was saying. It's all about the violence of action. When you go and you breach that kill zone, you need to get out of that kill zone. That kill zone is that doorway.
This doorway is called the fatal funnel. It is called that because it funnels everyone into a single file line. And you know what's super easy to shoot at? A single file line. So the longer you spend in that fatal funnel in a single file line, the more likely you're all gonna die. Or get shot. It's airsoft again. You're not really gonna die.
You're gonna get out.
Although you could, depending on how dangerous your AO is and how hardcore your milsim is.
Yes. So just remember, get out of the fatal funnels, get out of those dangerous kill areas, push in. When you're actually conducting a room clearing, that should be the fastest part of when you're moving in a mount or military operations in urban terrain. That is going to be the fastest part. Everything else, you got to make sure you take your time and cover sectors. Cover something, watch a piece of the pie that is not already being watched. That is your job as a fire team. And then that's pretty much it.
I think that's it.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I'm Redbeard.
And I'm E-House.
Peace.
This is how you clear a room if you're alone. Yeah!